And
Let's
welcome back to
go.
the Tuned In podcast.
What a time to be alive.
Great time to be alive.
Yes, sir.
Not so great to be a Jazz fan. It's okay, though. It's okay. It's just
Yes.
overreaction to the past two games.
Yep.
But NBA is back. We have the regular season. We do have real basketball, and I think it's exciting, win or loss,
Absolutely.
right? These were some rough losses, but that's okay. We're gonna come back strong. We can come back in these next couple games this week.
Oh, absolutely. I think we're on a road to 80-2 right now, so we're gonna get there. This is the start of it right here. It's how exciting.
We were both saying on the way over, well, it can't get any worse than this.
That's right. We can only get better.
It's only up from here.
Absolutely. How are you doing?
Pretty good.
Good.
Pretty good. Been watching some ball.
Yeah.
Getting my schoolwork and all that kind of thing done.
Yeah, it's kind of the midterm season for us college students here.
Excited to go to the Spurs game on Thursday.
Oh, yes. We're going.
Halloween game versus Wemby.
Yes, sir. I wonder what he's going to dress up as. Maybe like Slender Man or something.
I hope so.
Yeah.
Or put on, like, I was thinking he could get one of those, like, alien, like, neon green, like, bodysuit kind of thing.
Yeah, I think him and Chris Paul should do some kind of like, like couples costume, that'd be kind of funny. Tall and short guy together.
Yeah, I'm excited to watch Wemby. That was marked on my calendar for a little while.
Oh, that'll be super fun. Hopefully the Jazz can get a win, so it'll be good.
Yeah.
It'll be good. We have an exciting episode today. Well, we'll try to keep it exciting, given our circumstances. We're going to update you on our new scoring system that we're doing this year, how we're doing against each other. We're going to talk about the 2 games we had this week and the 3 games we have coming up this next week. We're also going to pick our player of the week, and then we'll talk about some Jazz news, NBA news, and then we'll dive in a little bit today to some local sports. We got BYU football, BYU basketball doing some big things, and then of course we'll update on Utah Hockey Club. Don't forget to follow us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, wherever you get your podcasts. You can find us there. You can also find us on Instagram. We're going to try this year to update on the scores on there and share the podcasts as they're put out, so don't miss an update on there. And this is episode 48 of Tuned In Jazz.
All right, so our predictions were not too bad, but
our first one wasn't.
I don't think I ever would have predicted a 40-point loss in my life.
Yeah, especially at home.
That would be cruel. Yeah, but let's just start with like the score right now. So I predicted a 10-point loss against the Warriors, and so that kind of put me up by a little bit.
Yeah.
You predicted a little bit closer on the Grizzlies. Jazz lost by 2. You predicted a 6-point loss. So add up those deviations. I got 38 points. You got 42.
Yeah.
So I was just 4 points closer just because I knew that we were going to lose to the Warriors. That had that feeling. So
yeah.
How you feel about your prediction? Next time you're going to change it up?
Well, I don't feel too bad about the Grizzlies one. I think I was, in the realm. The Warriors one, I don't know how anybody could have predicted that. I guess we probably should have seen it coming. I don't know. But.
Do you feel like we could kind of use the Price is Right strategy, like with the
could just go low? If
the first guy says one outcome, like lose by 5, you'll say, "Ooh, lose by 6."
Oh man, if I start getting down again this year, I might have to just start getting pretty radical to catch up here. I think.
Yeah, we'll see, but it's close. We pretty much we're neck and neck.
Yeah, 42-38, we're pretty close.
But let's maybe just talk about both of these games.
Let's do it.
Maybe starting with the Grizzlies. This was actually a very solid game, even though we lost.
Absolutely.
We'll talk about the Warriors game in a second. Not great.
Yeah, not super fantastic.
There's a couple standout players from this Grizzlies game that I want to mention. First, of course, our boy Lauri Markkanen. I think that he just made a statement in this game that he is still an all-star level player.
Absolutely.
With 35 points, 9 rebounds, 2 assists, 4 3-pointers, 13 free throws. That's his whole stat line. But yeah, he made a statement this game.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, he played really well. I thought it was, he did what Lowry's supposed to do. But he shot pretty efficiently. He was playing good defense. He was just kind of a threat around the rim and shooting. Just really solid game for him. Another guy I was really impressed with. I always talk about him, but Walker Kessler had an amazing
He had a great game as well.
I believe he was 16 points, 14 rebounds, and 5 blocks. I think like 3 or 4 of those came in the first like quarter and a half of the game. He was playing really well.
Beast.
And him and John Collins honestly played Zach Edey off the floor. Pretty much, he got fouled out. I mean, he is a rookie and it's his first game, so I'm not gonna say that's who Zach Edey is.
Yeah,
but
and even we saw that one highlight where Lauri Markkanen just bodies Zach Edey.
Yeah.
Like, he was getting kind of pushed around all night.
Keontae had a nice little layup just right over Zach Edey's hands. So Zach Edey was struggling against our bigs, which is what you want to see. We want to put pressure on their bigs. So
I don't know if you remember, but during Summer League, Zach Edey kind of bodied Walker Kessler.
Yeah, I do remember
in Salt
that.
Lake Summer League. And so I think he might have taken that personally,
Absolutely.
like Michael Jordan style.
Yes, sir.
And he got him back today.
Yeah, we love to see it.
And then I think another, those are probably the 2 highlight players, but I think another guy that deserves some credit for this game is Taylor Hendricks. Started and played 28 minutes and hit 3 3-pointers. That's good for him, right?
Yeah.
He hasn't always been the best from 3, but if he can get 3 3-pointers on a regular basis, that's amazing for this team.
Yeah. Not to mention he shot efficiently. He's 4 for 7. And he had 2 steals and a block.
Right.
Which is the kind of
defensively,
impact.
he looks great.
Absolutely.
He looks great.
Absolutely. One, I guess, concern that I had, Keontae was 3 for 18 from the floor.
Right.
I know we talked at some point last season about the amount of shots he takes. And it was good at first, like to build confidence. But I'm really hoping he can rein that in, because that's 3 for 18 is pretty crazy.
He definitely struggled this game. That's okay.
Yes,
he did get 5 free throws, getting to the line pretty well.
Yeah, absolutely.
I think that should be a common theme as we keep going through the season, but he did shoot 55% at the line, so maybe make a couple more of those. That would help.
Yeah, definitely.
And 7 assists. So my prediction for him doing well in assists is starting off well.
And he only turned the ball over once, so I will give him that credit. That was good
right.
news.
Yeah, and then just in terms of the Grizzlies as well, Ja had an amazing game.
Yeah.
It's hard to, even Walker Kessler, like with all his blocks tonight, it's still hard to stop him in the paint. I think if you're watching the very end of the game, heartbreaker, Ja just, it's hard to stop him once he's like able to finish the way he does with his arms and jumping. And if he missed that layup at the end of the game, I think we might have won. So
absolutely. I feel like they won this game because they were the more experienced. Like, at the end of the game, we had them on the ropes.
Right.
We were down, what was it, like 12-13 at halftime or something?
Yeah, we came back in this game. Nobody really thought we had a chance through like the majority of it.
Yeah, and we crawled back into it. We were tied at one point at the end of the game. And they just have more experience. So we're the younger team. But this is good experience for our players.
Ja Morant might win clutch player.
I think
That's all I'm saying. He could definitely win that.
I think he could. Yeah.
Okay, should we talk about what we don't want to talk about?
Do we have to? I'm just kidding. Yes, let's do.
Isn't this like the worst loss we've ever had?
Yeah, I was listening to David Locke this morning. He was saying that this is only the second 40-point loss Jazz ever had at home. And it was like only the 7th or 8th 40-point loss like ever. Yeah, so kind of historically a pretty horrible loss.
And at home is bad too. We're usually not terrible at home.
Just turnover. We had 22 turnovers. It just felt like the whole game was just one big turnover. It was pretty horrible.
Yeah, and it's like I understand if some of you Jazz fans turn this one off.
Yeah.
But some of these turnovers were just like, it wasn't necessarily like the Warriors defense being good. It was just us like giving them the ball.
Yeah.
It's like dribbling off foot or just lazy passes or just not having the ball secure in your possession, right?
Yeah.
It was just like bad offense, bad ball security. That's going to be a big point of emphasis for Will Hardy right now, I'm sure. Just ball security, smart passes. I think that is a big thing that the Jazz need to work on after this game.
And I think this is just the price you pay for having a younger team. I made
Yeah.
note of some of these plus minuses. Our highest plus minuses, or lowest rather, Keontae was minus 37.
Oof.
Cody Williams minus 31 and Bryce Sensabaugh minus 28 and Taylor Hendricks minus 20. So that's like our 4 youngest guys that are in our rotation. So you can see the impact of having young players right there.
Yeah, definitely.
It's shown.
And then Taylor Hendricks 0 for 6 today. So, he had 2 steals, 2 blocks.
Yeah.
Played great, pretty good defense for what he could.
Yeah.
With all the turnovers, but
2 steals, 2
0 for
blocks.
6 is not great.
Yeah.
Any bright spots in this game? I know
man.
we talk about the turnovers, talk about the missed shots. We only shot 20% from 3 today, so it's hard to win a game when you do that.
I will say I do like, this was, I think, the first game we saw Patty Mills play. I believe he didn't play the first game, right? Yeah.
I don't think so.
I thought Patty Mills looked pretty decent. He was only -4 from the floor. I guess that's
Drew Eubanks hit a
the
3
bright
in the
spot.
corner.
Yeah, Drew Eubanks.
I didn't know he was a shooter.
Not bad. So we have a couple guys we could get in our rotation going. I wasn't sure about some of these lineups. It felt like a lot of the game that was still a lot of like Jordan Clarkson, John Collins, Lowry, and I don't know. I'd like to see more young guys on the floor at all times, but I guess that doesn't help us win. But if we're gonna lose, we might as well do some development,
And then the big story why the Warriors won as well is Buddy Hield.
Oh man,
dude, the guy was on fire. We did not adjust. I don't know if you remember last season. There's a lot of games where one guy would be the difference, like Keegan Murray hitting 12 threes against us and us not changing our game plan. Right now it's Buddy Hield hitting 7 threes. So whenever a guy gets hot like this, I think we need to adjust, right? Yeah. And it's hard when the other guy across from Buddy Hield is Steph Curry. So maybe a little bit more understandable. Steph Curry actually, he didn't have a crazy game. He only shot 4 for 13 from 3.
Yeah, not great.
But Buddy Hield, man, we needed to close out on him better.
Yeah, and I think to be fair to the Jazz, this offense is just set up for Buddy Hield. Like,
oh yeah, the splash cousin. Yeah,
not only does he have like pressure taken off of him in the 3 with Steph Curry being on the floor, but also like just the amount of like Steve Kerr knows how to get guys like him open, and he did that. He was 7 for 9.
Yeah, and I'm pretty sure the Warriors had like 70 or 80 points from their bench.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Buddy Hield counted for that, right, with his scoring. But
Moses
when you
Moody
can get that much from your bench, you're usually going to win.
Oh, absolutely.
Whatever game you're playing, if you can get 70 or 80 from that. So.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I saw somebody tweeting out. They said that it was like right before the game. They said, "I can't believe that the Warriors really passed up on Lowry Markkanen because of Brandon Pajemski." But in this game, he only had 15, but he just fits their team so well.
He's a good utility player.
Yeah. I'm not sure that the Jazz could have had a use for him as like a cornerstone piece like we have with Lowry, but
right.
So, tough loss. Hopefully we can move on as we play the Mavericks next. Go on the road.
Yep. First road game.
Yep.
But talking player of the week, we only had 2 games for this first week of the season.
Yeah.
Let's just talk. We're changing the way we do player of the week this week, where instead of us both having separate players, we kind of come to a consensus.
Yeah.
And so I'm just going to throw out a couple names. I think nobody deserves player of the week from the Warriors game.
No.
But Lauri Markkanen obviously did well in the first game, and Walker Kessler.
Yeah.
And so I'm thinking, for me, we either do Lauri Markkanen this week because of his amazing performance in game 1, or we could do Walker Kessler because he was pretty solid in both games and really good in game 1.
Yeah. True. Those are the 2 guys I had circled as well. I really liked Walker Kessler that he had 9 rebounds in the Warriors game, but he only scored 2 points.
Right.
That's pretty rough. I think Lowry's 35 is pretty elite. So yeah, my pick would probably be Lowry, but yeah.
That's hard.
It's close.
I think I'm going to go with Walker Kessler for this week.
Fair enough.
Let's go with him.
I respect that.
And I think it's just because we didn't know what we were going to get from Walker Kessler. Preseason, he looked pretty good, but what is preseason usually? And he came out pretty well. He got lots of rebounds. Nobody did well in the Warriors game, but he at least got those rebounds. So I think I'm going to give it to Walker Kessler.
That's fair. I like that. I think he's building some confidence. I'm hoping that he is. It seems like he's playing a little more aggressive in the paint, so I think he deserves it.
Proud of him. Okay, upcoming games and our predictions.
Let's do it.
We got our first not only road game on Monday versus the Mavericks, but we also got our first back-to-back. So these young guys are getting thrown in. I love it.
Yep.
So Mavericks are a pretty good team. It's going to be a tough outing. What do you think is the line for that?
Yeah, starting with the defending Western Conference champions is a little rough for our road schedule. So I'm going to say, in lieu of our 40-point loss, I'm going to say it's going to be a loss. And I'm going to set it at 12 for mine. I'm going to say we're going to lose. Modestly, it probably won't be a 40-point loss. We'll fix some things. It'll just be a little bit easier of a loss, maybe. I guess if that's a thing.
Dang, we're kind of on the same page.
Yeah, who do you got for that one?
I'm also going to pick the Mavs.
Okay.
But maybe let's say lose by 5. I think the Jazz will keep it close.
That's fair. I respect that. Yeah, I think, I don't know, the Mavs, I think that they haven't lost yet, if I remember right.
Nope, they won their first game against the Spurs.
That's right.
By 11, yeah.
I saw Luka had that nice, over the back through Wemby's arms pass. Did you see that?
Yeah.
Yeah, it was nice. Luka's insane.
He's crazy.
He's insane. And I think Clay, I want to say in preseason he was shooting really horribly, but in his first game, he actually shot pretty well. I say. So, yeah, they're going to be a tough out.
Okay, next game, come back home, back-to-back. We're playing the Kings and Domantas Sabonis, the starting 5-star. Who do you got for that?
All right, I'm going to say this one's going to be a loss as well, and I'm going to say that the Jazz are going to lose by 6. I think this one's going to be similar to the Memphis game. I could see us keeping it close late in the game, but the Kings have De'Aaron Fox, who's notoriously really good in the clutch, and also DeMar DeRozan. It's just DeMar DeRozan. So I think a loss by 6 is where I'm going to set that at.
Okay, I'm also on the same page as you. I put losses 8. Lose by 8. Yeah, I think it's hard on the end of a back-to-back, even at home, and I don't have super high hopes, but I hope that we win this game, but I think lose by 8 is about what we'll do.
Yeah, I respect that. Okay, and that takes us to our last game against the Spurs, the one we'll be at. So we'll start with you. Do you think we're enough of good luck charms for the Jazz? Can we get the win? What do you think?
Okay, if we're going to win a game, this is one of those ones I think we can win.
Fair enough.
We're at home. We're usually a pretty good home team in the last 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
Spurs last year were bottom of the Western Conference, but they got Chris Paul and some other guys coming in to make them better. I think we can win this game. I'm going to say win by 12.
By 12? Okay.
Yeah, convincingly.
Interesting. Okay. I somewhat agree with you. I think that this is a winnable game. I think the Spurs are a little bit tougher of an out than they were last year. They do have Harrison Barnes, who's torched us a couple times last year.
He definitely has, yep.
And so I'm going to say that this will be a Jazz win by 5. I think it'll be a little bit closer, but I could see us winning. And of course, we want to be able to cheer for a win when we go to the game. So
a little bias in there for us being there at the game.
Yeah, so we'll call it a win.
But I do think if we're going to win a game, that's the kind of game we can win.
Absolutely.
Spurs coming into Utah.
Absolutely.
Okay. So in other news, Jazz unveiled a brand new basketball court to go along with the fire jerseys that they released this summer.
It looks really nice, I think. I really love I don't know if you saw, but on the side, it's got the mountains all along the purple. Just a really clean looking court.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool. The black and purple, I think, works really well with the light blue a little bit in there.
Yeah, also to mention, 2 days ago they released their new NBA Cup court.
Ooh.
I don't know if you've seen this one. You'll have to look it up. Last year we went with the full purple.
Yeah.
This year we're going with a nice gray with like a mountain backdrop.
Okay.
I kind of dig it.
Yeah.
I think it's a little bit better for your eyes if you're watching the broadcast and it's gray instead of purple. But
I know a lot of people really liked like those like really bright colored courts. I wasn't a fan last year. I kind of like nice and tame, but
right.
I like the gray. The gray's really clean.
But I would say the new like kind of jazz mountain basketball court does look pretty good. I love how they kind of incorporate that light blue from the past into there.
Speaking of new courts, though, we didn't plan on talking about this, but did you see the Clippers' new arena?
Yes.
The Intuit Dome that they built. For those of you who haven't heard, you need to go look this up because Steve Ballmer spent, I think I saw it was like $2 billion, I want to say, on that new arena. They don't want to share with the Lakers anymore, which I could respect. And in their arena, they have something called the Wall, where they built the seats the seats are like almost on top of each other. And then they have a bunch of other cool, really, really cool features. But I saw like Kevin Durant missed 2 free throws in a row, and D-Book missed a couple, and it kind of reminds me of a college atmosphere just a little bit. Bringing the Marriott Center to LA, I guess. Kind of crazy. Pretty cool.
Durant said it reminded him of college.
Yeah.
In the interview.
Yeah.
I also saw just another cool thing about the dome. I kind of want to go there now.
Yeah, it'd be sick.
They made it so that the t-shirt cannons can hit any seat in the arena.
Oh, yo.
And so like it's a chance that anybody could get a t-shirt. Because like normally when you go to a game, you're like, yeah, there's no shot they're reaching me up here, right? But the cannons can hit any seat, so it's just randomized.
What? Dude, that's actually kind of scary though. Because what if you're like 15 rows up and you take one to the face? That sounds kind of scary, but that's so way cool.
Yeah, you gotta be locked into the Clippers when you're at their games.
Yeah, I saw one of the features they had was on the section that has the wall during certain points of the games. The seats actually lock closed so that you can't sit. Like it's standing room only.
It's kind of scary, actually. What about they must be young people sitting there, I guess.
Yeah, I guess that's kind of just what you sign up for if you're going to the Wall or whatever. But yeah, pretty cool, actually. Mm-hmm. Good for Steve Ballmer. Hopefully, I don't know. The Clippers don't look super great so far, especially. I think I saw something. Kawhi Leonard's trainer is suing the Clippers or something. So things are getting a little dicey over there. So, anyways, I guess in other NBA news, though, what are you buying, selling week 1 of the NBA season?
Let's see. I think one thing I'm buying is Chet Holmgren.
Oh, okay. Yes, sir.
He looks so good against the Nuggets and Jokic. He like kind of made Jokic just look like a normal player at some possessions.
Yeah, he looks like he's beefed up a little too.
A little bit.
Just a tiny bit, yeah.
Yeah, he can just move so quickly for his size, and I don't know if he keeps that up. I think he'll be an all-star, but it's just one game, so I think so can't really like overreact too much.
Yeah, I like that. I saw he had like that. It was like a block on one end on Jokic, and then he came in and slammed it. And to me, Chet's always looked like really fragile to me, but like that dunk was like that was a grown man
with
dunk.
Authority.
Yeah, he like put that down. Oh, I like that. So I won't be selling Chet Holmgren for any of my fantasy people listening. I am selling Bronny James. I'm only selling because we now have had our moment. Did you watch that game?
Yep.
I had to catch history. It's pretty cool, I will say. I'll buy that moment, I guess. But now that that's over, I think he needs, I think for his sake, he needs to go to the G League and be able to develop like everybody else. I don't think he's ready for the NBA, which is okay. You don't have to be ready in your rookie season. So I'm selling him. I'm ready to move on from talking about Bronny James until he's, more relevant to the Lakers.
Yeah.
But
I guess another obvious one I'm buying is I'm gonna call it the Celtics offense.
Oh, dude.
They made 29 threes in a game, man. How is that even possible?
Yeah.
In the 2 games the Jazz had, we made like 9 or 10.
Yeah.
Not at a good clip. But I think just the teams that make a lot of threes and shoot a lot of threes are going to be the best teams in the league. You see that with the Celtics. They shoot a lot. They make a lot. And so I'd look out for the teams that lead the league in those categories because I think they'll be at the top of the standings.
Oh, yeah. Absolutely. I think you already talked about Chet, but in general, I'm just buying the Oklahoma City Thunder. They're going to be such a tough out.
I love Alex Caruso on their team.
They're so stacked.
He's one of my favorite players.
Yeah, I saw in one of their games, he only played like 18 minutes or something, which is just crazy to me that they have that much depth.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure he'll get more as he's like working into their system, but they're just such a deep team. I think Jalen Williams is going to make a jump this year. He could be an all-star, low-key.
Yeah, he'll have some competition, but he could be at that level.
He'll be on the fringe at least. Yeah. And like you said, Chet could be an all-star. SGA might be an MVP this year. He got MVP votes last year. They're scary. They're going to be really good.
Definitely.
They're going to be really good.
I guess one sell that I have, I think I'm going to sell on the Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
I mean, they just don't look like they're a team as much as they could be.
Yeah.
They're missing some talent, but it is kind of fun to see Cam Thomas just go off and have like 30-point games. But I think as a team basketball, I don't think that's enough to get them higher in the standings. I think it's going to be a rough year for Brooklyn Nets.
Yeah.
But they have their pick, so it's okay.
Yeah, absolutely.
All hope isn't lost.
Yes. I feel like it's been a while since they've had their pick, but they're there now.
Right. And then just quickly, how's your fantasy team doing?
I'm doing pretty good. I feel good about the team I drafted. The way our league works, I guess, is like you win by category.
Yeah.
So there's 9 categories. I'm currently 4-5, so I need to catch up on at least one category, but I'm pretty close to the win. I feel good about my team.
You got Chet on your team, so that'll help with blocks and rebounds.
I got Chet and SGA. Both those guys will help me a lot. I got Kyrie. He hasn't done anything too great so far, but I'm hoping he'll pick it up a little.
Hopefully not against the Jazz.
Yeah, hopefully not. Yeah, how's your team doing?
I think they're pretty good. I got Giannis, who's
he's a fantasy
putting
beast.
up amazing stats every game he plays.
Yeah.
He had this one dunk last night against Vucevic. I don't know if you saw it.
Well, I don't think I did.
It was like a big, like halfway towards the free throw line, Statue of Liberty.
Yeah.
Poster.
Oh my gosh.
All over Nikola Vucevic. It was sick.
Let's go.
And then after the game, he was in a Halloween costume, like Mr. Potato Head or something like that.
Yeah, I saw his comment. He was saying like his wife's in charge of him now. Or so. It's so funny to hear Giannis say that.
I love Giannis. Yeah, no, awesome. and he's doing really well for my fantasy team.
Yeah.
And then I also got Derek White, who's a beast, and Zach LaVine has been putting up a lot of points. So I'm pretty happy with my picks so far, but we just need to get a couple more like steals and blocks, and I think we'll be in the lead. I think I'm 5-4 right now.
Yeah, absolutely. We were talking on the way over. Neither of us have really done fantasy basketball before. I've done it a little. I can't remember if you said you had, but we're kind of trying to figure out the strategy, right? Like we're only in an 8-man league, so there's a ton of guys. I feel like in free agency still.
Right, Jeremy Grant's still in there.
Yeah.
I just picked him up actually.
And so it's just like hard to know. Like, do I go defense, offense? Do I trade for big players? Do I trade down to get more depth? Like, it's just such a
maybe just screw the defense and just go full on like scoring and points, efficiency. Yeah.
So if you have any tips for us, let us know. We would appreciate you helping us win our fantasy matchups. Unless we're playing each other, then just send it to me.
Yeah, that'll be a good week though.
Yeah, should be good. All right. Well, we have a couple local sports things going on. BYU plays UCF. Probably will have already happened by the time you hear this, but hopefully BYU gets to win. UCF's a really good rushing team, and BYU obviously struggled against rushing offenses last week against Oklahoma State.
Yeah. So we do have a pretty good front seven.
We do, yeah.
So
definitely.
I hope that they bounce back this week against UCF. And it's a road game.
Yeah.
From what I remember, I think our only other road game has been Baylor, right?
I think so. We played Wyoming.
Wyoming was
and SMU,
not too bad.
I think was also
second road game in the Big 12. Baylor was a close game, so maybe this one will be too. But we'll see. Yeah. Hopefully they get the win when you hear this.
Yeah, I think we're going to need to start hot. Like with Baylor, it was nice because we started, I think we had like a 3 touchdown lead and then we kind of blew it a little. But if we can make UCF not able to run the ball, like if we have a multi-score lead, they're going to have to throw the ball, and that's like ideal for us. So,
and of course, I think every game we've won the turnover battle, we win the game.
We have to win.
So we got to win the turnover battle again.
Absolutely.
Get interception, fumble on our side, not for them. So,
and I feel like this week that has more to do with Jake Ratzlaff too. He's just got to take care of the ball. Yep. No fumbles. We just got to.
That's so important.
Just take care of it. So, rumor on the street though, AJ DeBonsa, future Utah Jazz #1 pick. Just kidding. Probably not. Hopefully not.
And BYU.
It's a year from now.
NIL. He's getting $4 million from BYU.
Yeah, I think they're
reportedly. I don't know who's reporting that, but that's a lot of money.
Yeah, the report was originally that he was worth $7 million, but I think BYU's his highest offer at 4.5 right now. Pretty crazy. I don't know. I don't know how long we can keep this charade going that these are still students. I feel like they're just professional athletes at this point. It's kind of crazy.
I mean, that 1 year they come to BYU, if he does, we got a pretty good shot at
I think so.
at doing well in the tournament. Yeah. So hopefully he comes here. I don't know what his deadline is for that or what he's deciding. So
yeah, the nice thing is this BYU team doesn't have like a ton of seniors. I think Trevin Nell and Foose are only seniors, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
That sounds right.
And so
Dallin Hall's like a junior, or
he's a junior. Okay. Richie's a junior, I believe. Keba Keita's a junior as well, or maybe a sophomore. But if we can get him and JJ Mandaquit, I think that's a pretty solid team. Yeah. That would be a team that has like veteran players along with young talent. And that's what you need to be successful in March. So, Yegor Demin and Boskovic. I don't remember Boskovic, whatever it is. They both were investigated by the NCAA this week. Apparently, NCAA is not okay with players playing overseas, or there's some rule that they violated with that. But I think we heard back about Yegor Demin already that he's good to go. I haven't heard anything about Boskovic, but I'm hoping it's the same story.
Don't be a party pooper, NCAA.
Yes, please.
We want our guys to play.
Also, be consistent. Come on. If you're going to let players get paid by their schools, just let,
yeah.
These are 19-year-old guys. We're not talking about 26-year-old professional athletes. We're talking about 19-year-olds. So, yeah. And
then just quickly as well, we got our weekly Utah Hockey Club update. They've been kind of struggling.
Yeah, they have.
As of late. They came off to such a great start, some overtime wins. Lost 2 games in a row to the Senators and Avalanche. They weren't even close.
Yeah, we're at 4-3-1 currently. That's still 5th in the just in our division. They like set theirs up differently. So
before we had those 2 losses, I think we were like the wild card if the playoffs happened. So I don't know if I can see the standings we're at right now, but not looking too great after those 2 losses. Yeah,
not fantastic. They, I believe we also lost two big defensive men this week. I saw one, blanking on the names, but one was going to be out 4 to 6 months, and one was going to be out like 8 weeks or something. So we got to call up Maverick Lamoureux, one of our rookies.
That's pretty sweet.
And so that'll be fun. At least we get to develop some guys. He got called up to the team, and I believe he already played in a game, or at least was suited up, so kind of fun.
Yeah, it looks like we're 13th in the league right now. So I don't know where that put us in the playoffs. Still learning that, but
we're still trying to
figure it out. We need a couple more wins.
Yes, we do.
I think we can do it.
Yes, we do.
Hopefully those injuries aren't too bad.
Yeah. I saw a kind of interestingly to do with hockey. I saw this clip. I don't know if you saw it. It was like the Jazz. It was like a throwback clip of when they used to have another hockey team playing in the Delta Center. And I guess what they used to do is they used to have the ice, and then they would put a protective thing, and then they'd put the basketball floor right on top of it.
Oh, interesting.
And in the clip, they had to delay the game they were playing in because like the ice was like seeping through the floor. And apparently it was like a weird thing because it usually didn't do that. But anyways, I'm glad the Jazz, I think that they removed the ice now, from what I understand.
Shout out to those arena people. I don't even know how they can transform it in like a few hours. Yeah.
It's wild. And then to see like concerts and stand-up comedians come and you're like, oh my gosh. Hopefully they get paid good money.
Yep, I hope so. Well, thank you for listening to this episode of the Tuned In Jazz podcast. It's only up from here.
Yes, sir.
Such a bad loss to the Warriors, but now we're going on some road and back-to-back games and hoping for some good games for our rookies. If you haven't already, give us 5 stars on the platform that you're listening. Find us on Spotify, Apple, YouTube, or wherever you get podcasts. And check out our past episodes. We gave a whole bunch of predictions for the Jazz, the players, the NBA awards. And so check out those as you're getting excited for this season. And we'll catch you next week. Take care.
Peace.